If you're going to Coachella this year and you need some artist recommendations, I got you. It's my favorite time of year. It's spring festival season. There are so many amazing festivals happening right now. And while I sadly will not be attending Coachella, I'm so excited for anyone that gets to go because of this incredible lineup. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over some of my favorite dance music acts and give you some recommendations in case you're looking for some. These artists are going to be some of the specialty acts that I think you should check out, as well as some of my favorites. It was really hard to narrow down a list. I'm going to leave the full list in the description box down below for you guys. But I've managed to pick out 15 artists from the main lineup, as well as some more artists that was announced in the DoLab lineup. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number one for me is going to be Calvin Harris. I feel like this is going to be an incredible moment, a special moment for sure. This is going to be his return to Coachella. This is going to be his first US festival appearance, I'm pretty sure. He's done a couple international festival appearances more recently, but we haven't seen him on a US festival lineup, so I feel like this is just going to be so special. I feel like he might bring out some special guests, especially because he just put out a song with Ellie Goulding that is just so good. And yeah, I'm excited to see some videos from this set. I'm definitely jealous. The last time I saw Calvin Harris was in 2017. Actually 2016, and that was a Vegas residency, like club environment. I'm so curious what like a 2023 festival set from Calvin Harris looks like. Number two is the Chemical Brothers. This is a duo that I've had on my list for a while. I've heard such amazing things about the Chemical Brothers at previous Coachellas, and they are definitely an iconic duo, started in the 90s, and I think this is just a set that everyone should see. You could definitely look up videos on YouTube, so I would also put this on your list for day one. I have three other artists for day one. The first one is going to be SG Lewis. I think he is such a talented artist. He sings, he does instruments, and then also DJs as well. And I'd be so curious to see what a set from him is like. He's still on my list to see. I have not gotten a chance to see him, so I'm definitely jealous of anyone that gets to see him. I feel like it's just going to be a really fun, maybe daytime vibe if they put him in that schedule. And I'm curious what stage they would put him at. He'd probably be maybe in like a Gobi or Mathame maybe. And yeah, I feel like it's just going to be the perfect vibe for Coachella. My next recommendation is going to be Whyte Fang. For those that don't know, this is Alice in Wonderland's new project that she's been doing. Very intrigued by this, and I've had a couple friends see her set when she did a album release set that was in New York a couple months ago, and they like said it was really hard to describe. Like it was just a balance between like trap, bass, even techno. Like it had a very interesting kind of vibe to it, and you can even hear it in one of her newer release songs. Alice in Wonderland is so talented, so I'm really just curious to see what she would do for this set at Coachella. She's also pregnant, so like it's amazing to, you know, be seeing someone that's pregnant and be able to throw down an amazing set. We know she's all going to bring the energy and whatnot. My final set for day one I'm going to recommend is Mochakk. Now, there are so many incredible house artists on day one. Like there's Maceo Plex, Jaime Jones, Malaa, Vintage Culture, Dombresky, Nora, Pure, Dennis Cruz, PAWSA, Kyle Watson. But out of all of them, I'm going to recommend Mochakk. And the reason is because he is new and up and coming. Honestly, he's been blowing up in the past year, and his energy on stage is just amazing. His song choices are so dope, and like he's just very animated compared to other house DJs. Like a lot of house DJs are so serious while they're like mixing and whatever, but like Mochakk just has like a certain energy to him that just adds to it. So I can imagine he'll be in Yuma potentially, and I feel like that would be a vibe. Moving on to day two, I'm highly going to recommend Eric Prydz HOLO. If you've never seen Eric Prydz, I highly recommend seeing him. I saw him for the first time in 2021, and it was pretty life-changing. But his HOLO project just includes these incredible visuals that make it look like it's just jumping out at you. It recently was at Ultra Miami, and it's going to be at a couple of the festivals this year, but I just think it's going to be really incredible to see. I'm curious what stage they're going to put him at. I feel like they could do it at Sahara if it does have like a dome effect. But yeah, I feel like people are going to go nuts at this set, and I think it would just be really cool to experience. If you're not familiar with Eric Prydz music, I would say it's like no one come for me on this. It's like progressive house, progressive techno even, and just has really catchy like melodies and stuff and really builds it up too. And he really does a good job, obviously, with like his visual production and whatnot with his sets. The next act for day 2 that I'm going to recommend is SOFI TUKKER. This duo is just so much fun to see live. They have a whole live component to it and they really bounce off each other's energy. And this set is going to be a mixture of house music and then just, you know, more kind of like electro pop type sounds. They do sing live. They do play instruments live. And it's just all around a high energy set. So you can't go wrong with SOFI TUKKER. The next set I'm going to recommend, this set is probably going to be super packed. And I'm going to recommend you get there early no matter what, wherever they're playing. It's going to be Tale of Us. Tale of Us has had an incredible past year just with their Afterlife brand and all of the things that they've been doing. I feel like they're going to pull out some really cool stuff for Coachella, but I also feel like it's going to be packed, and it's because like TikTok has really blown them up purely because of the visuals and the production and everything like that. So I feel like it's going to be a really packed set, so plan ahead. And then if you like Tale of Us, I'm also going to recommend Mathame. They also have releases on Afterlife's label and very similar vibes. Melodic techno, takes you on a journey, makes you feel some type of way. We saw them at EDC Las Vegas 2021 and it was such a good set. I've been dying to see them again. I feel like Coachella would just be so fun to see them at. They might be at like Yuma maybe, I don't know. But I think it would be really cool to see them at Coachella. My final recommendation for day 2, this is more of just like one of my favorite house artists and just one set that I will never miss, and that is Hot Since 82. He's just such a good time and I love going to his sets. It's always such like groovy, vibey house music. It's a party. Probably would put him in Yuma and I feel like it's just a guaranteed good time. Moving on to day 3, kicking it off with Porter Robinson. You guys are probably not surprised by this if you've been following my channel. You guys know I love Porter Robinson. But the Coachella set is going to be a special one because that is going to be his final time that he's performing his Nurture set. So it's a very special moment. It's kind of like a farewell to that chapter of Porter Robinson. So I feel like it's going to be super special. If they put this on the main stage as the sun is setting again, like they did with the Shelter tour in 2017, like that'll be a moment. That'll be so special. But I just feel like Porter's probably planning something really special as the commencement of this chapter of his music and his brand and whatnot. We're switching up gears a little bit. You guys know this was probably coming, but Fisher back-to-back Chris Lake. These two together, always a vibe, regardless of what you have to say or think about Fisher's music being ghost produced by Chris Lake. They do know how to put a show on together. This is another set that might be super packed too, depending on what time that they put them at. I'm very curious to see what those set times would be like, and also curious to see what stages these artists are going to be at. But Fisher, back-to-back Chris Lake, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a party. It's going to be a vibe, but it's also going to be super packed. So plan ahead. The next artist I have is Beyer. This is like the king of techno, king of drum code. He knows what he's doing when it comes to techno, and he really puts together amazing sets. I have not seen a full set from him. I do listen to his sets and mixes that he puts on SoundCloud. My boyfriend saw him at EDC last year and really enjoyed his set. If you want a little techno vibe, you can't go wrong with Beyer. Number 14, this is an artist that I feel like is still growing and I think deserves a lot more love and recognition, and that is Cassian. I found Cassian like years ago, and it was more so like he had more like deep melodic house type of music. And more recently, he's been getting more into like melodic techno, which has been really cool to see. I saw him at Electric Forest last year and really enjoyed his set. But yeah, I feel like Cassian is very underrated and a lot more people need to talk about him. So go see him at Coachella. My final artist to recommend is going to be LPGOB on day 3. She is a piano house queen. She is so talented. I am so excited for her to be at Coachella. I feel like this is going to be so special and such a moment for her. Her artistry is just amazing. If you dive into like her story and everything and where she comes from and all of that, it just makes it even like more special to see her play because she plays piano and like she just, it's just always a good time. Like I love seeing LPGOB. I definitely saw her way too much in the past year because I just was so excited to see her. But you know, it's really cool to be seeing her grow in this way. She's also based in Austin and has a residency here at one of our clubs. So yeah, yeah, I will always hype her up, and I feel like Coachella will be really special for her. Okay, so now we move into DoLab. If you don't know what DoLab is, it is one of the hosted, curated stages at Coachella. It is off over by Sahara Tent, so it's on that side of the festival. And this is like my safe haven, safe place. I love the DoLab. Like when I went for the first time in 2017, like I lived in the DoLab a lot. I just love the vibes in there. It was so much fun. I had a blast in there. They do have a weekend 1 lineup, a weekend 2 lineup. I compiled some recommendations for both of them. But with the DoLab, just be on the lookout because you never know, some surprise sets might happen. And I kind of like was already thinking what some surprise sets could be. Sometimes it might be people already on the lineup and doing like a collab, like for example, Adam Beyer, you know, back to back Eric Prydz could happen as a surprise set. You know, there might be things like that happen, or you can get completely surprised and someone that wasn't on the lineup at all is on the DoLab surprise lineup. So for weekend 1 DoLab artist recommendations, my first one is going to be Aluna. If you've heard of Aluna George, this is one half of Aluna George, and this is Aluna. She's so talented. Her voice is amazing, and I would love to see her. And I feel like DoLab might be, it could be more of a DJ set. It could also be a live set as well, where she's like singing and DJing. I'm definitely jealous because I've been dying to see her. My second one is going to be Frankie Wah. This is someone that I've been telling like everyone to have on your radar. I think this is definitely someone to watch. He's been working with Carl Cox, more of like that melodic techno, dark techno kind of vibe. And I'm curious to see what he would bring to the DoLab. I hope this set gets recorded. My next one is going to be Casablanca. This is a duo. Their music can also be in like the melodic house, melodic techno. I think they also do have a live component too. I think they'll bring like a cool vibe to it. I've definitely been wanting to see them. At first, I didn't recognize Mild Minds, but then I realized I had so many songs of his saved. If you like Fred Again, Lane 8, Shallow even, that's the kind of vibe there. I feel like daytime vibes could be really fun, but I was really jealous about this one because this artist is very hard to come by, so I'm hoping that this is another set that gets recorded. The next artist I have a really big soft spot for, and that's Phantoms. This is a house duo, and I just love their sets. I love their music. This one's definitely going to be a good time. My next one is going to be Somi. She's very groovy, vibey house. If you like Hot Since 82, Jaime Jones, like you would also really love Somi. There's also some really dope back-to-backs on both weekends, and one of them for weekend 1 is Dylan and Harry, and this is Party Favor and Bower playing together. Now, if you love trap and you love bass, you know, this is going to be a set to check out 100%. I feel like they're going to go like 2016, 2017 trap era, and it's going to be amazing. And then finally, weekend 2 DoLab artist recommendations. We're going to kick it off with 100 Drums. This is an up and coming bass artist that I've been seeing on so many lineups. I've been hearing so many good things about. I've been wanting to see her and just haven't gotten the chance to. So definitely recommend it if you're wanting to get your like wobbly bass fix in, experimental bass fix in. Next up, we have Clooney, Tech House King. He is definitely also on the rise, and you know, if you like Chris Lake, you would definitely enjoy Clooney. Michael Beebe, you would also like Clooney, just to give you kind of like some similarities. It's like partially minimal tech house, but has a little bit of a bassier groove to it too. Another really cool back-to-back Disco Wreck, which is Disco Line's back-to-back Shipwreck. I feel like this will be a very fun, bouncy, high energy house set. I feel like that would be a really good time. Then we have Gioli and Ossia. This is a duo, a couple that I always recommend seeing. I saw them at Electric Forest last year, and they play instruments, they DJ, so I feel like at the DoLab this would be really cool. Daytime vibe, I could picture it. Definitely check out their sets on YouTube if you want to get an idea. It's like house music, but it also has like a tribal kind of vibe to it too, and like, I don't know, I really love it. The next one, this is an artist that is also on the rise. He's been blowing up on TikTok. It's gonna be It's Murph. I saw his like announcement TikTok that was just so cute and wholesome. So I'm curious to see what a full set of his would be like. just because I just know the viral song currently. The next one we have is Mikey Lion, a Desert Hearts artist, house music. I love Mikey Lion. Anytime I've seen him, I feel like he's always a good time, and I feel like at the DoLab, that's just like a perfect place for him. Weekend 2 definitely has some more bass, so my next recommendation was going to be Of the Trees. If you like more of that experimental bass, wobbly bass, I feel like it'll be really cool to see at the DoLab. You know, there's a wide variety of genres at Coachella, but there isn't as much bass music. So if you want to get your bass fix, I feel like you'll get it with 100 Drums, Of the Trees. There's some other ones too for weekend 2. And then my final one, if you like Lane 8, you would like this artist Para 11. I have been obsessed with his music. He's very similar to Lane 8. I have not gotten the chance to see him, so I'm definitely jealous of anyone that gets to see him. This would definitely be one of those like chill, take a little break under the DoLab shade and all of that. That wraps up all of the Coachella and DoLab dance music artist recommendation. If you're going, feel free to comment it down below and let me know who you're excited to see. I hope this video was helpful. Give it a thumbs up if it was. I hope you have the best time at Coachella. I'm seriously so jealous, but I will be liking everyone's Instagrams, liking everyone's TikToks, and I will also probably be watching the live stream if they have one this year. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!